Across the Timeways Demon Hunter set review, fast and accurate, we're going to jump right in with the Perennial Serpent. 8 mana 7/9 with Rush, costs 4 less if a minion is dormant. Also has the Beast tag, that might be important at some point. This is just a generically strong Demon Hunter card. I think it's going to see probably a lot of play in Demon Hunter decks, and I also don't think you ever really have to pay any more than 4 mana for this. If we think about some of the other generically strong Demon Hunter cards, Grim Harvest, Wyvern Slumber, red card, already going into a lot of Demon Hunter decks that are putting dormant minions on the board. This thing is just going to be active so much of the time, and a 4 mana 7/9 with Rush, it's just really strong. It's a big body. I think it's going to be a really good addition to the Demon Hunter class. Should see a lot of play. Aeon Rend, a 4 mana rewind, deal 4 damage to 2 random enemy minions. Also important to note that this is a fell spell. If you can guarantee that this goes face, it can hit face here. 4 mana, 8 damage face is going to be really, really strong. If you're having to use it for board clear, 4 mana, 2 random enemies, and you're hoping to remove minions on the board, it starts to get a little bit iffy, kind of like a roll of the dice, because in that situation, any hits that go face are actually going to be a bad outcome. So really good if we're guaranteed face damage, looking to kill our opponent. A little bit iffy if we're having to use it, hoping to be able to clear minions on the board. Also, if the board is really wide, you can't guarantee that you're going to be able to hit the exact minions that you want to hit here. So definitely going to be better as a burn card than it is as a board control card. And the good news is the rewind kind of gives us an extra opportunity to be able to get the outcome that we want if we are hitting those minions on the board. So should be pretty good, likely to see play in the Spell Demon Hunter or No Minion Demon Hunter deck that's likely to come from this expansion. And a couple other things to note here. Hive Map, it's going to be discoverable off of Hive Map, which is potentially going to be pretty good. Also going to be discoverable off of Scorch Reaver. I don't think that actually does anything. This card not likely to see play, but it is important to keep in mind that it's going to be discoverable as a fell spell. Time Lost Glaive, 1 mana 2/2 weapon. Death Rattle, get a random demon from the past. The 1 mana 2/2 weapon is just a really good, generically strong card. Random Demon from the past is going to have a lot of variance. I don't think that we necessarily care about the demons that we're going to be getting off of this. It's just going to be a really solid card that's likely going to see a lot of play. Taking a quick look at the demons from the past that are going to be coming off of this card. Keep in mind here that anything that's in standard is not going to be discoverable, so things like Battle Fiend. But when you take a look at this, there's going to be a lot of variance as far as what demon from the past that we're going to be able to get off of this. Likely, you're going to find something that's potentially usable. There's going to be some high rolls, like this could be a high roll in some situations with a tough crowd, just being able to have a sap-like effect, return a minion to its owner's hand. Potentially, you might want to return something to your own hand. I don't know what the situation might be. But just a lot of variance here, and also, you know, just a lot of really big minions with some powerful effects here. As far as I know, colossal minions are not discoverable, so I don't think we're going to be finding this particular card off of it. But, you know, Inquisitor, Taintheart Tormentor, some of the really expensive stuff here. Actually, Inquisitor, not discoverable. Important to keep that in mind. That's a standard card, as is Magtheridon. But some pretty powerful effects that we can find here. So those are going to be the types of things that we might be able to get off the Time Lost Glaive. It's just a really good generic 1 mana 2/2 weapon. Doomsday Prepper, 5 mana 5/4 Outcast. Hero is immune until next turn. I don't think this card is good enough to see play in any deck. You don't want to put this in your deck and pay 5 mana. Basically, you would be paying just for the effect. It's going to be important to note that this is going to be discoverable off of Illidari Studies. So you're probably going to see it pop up in a game. It's going to happen at some points that this is going to be able to scam games. Maybe it keeps people in a game 1 turn longer than they really should have been in the game. Next up, we have the Eternal Hold, 6 mana, 3-use location. Get a demon that costs 5 or more. If your deck has no minions, your next one costs 0. This has a lot of variance to it. The fact that it's going to set minions to 0 could be good. I could potentially see this card being really bad. When you start to think about the types of cards that can be found here, you're just going to get a random demon. You know, if you get like these 1 and 2 cost minions and play them for 0, you're probably going to be really mad because the location itself is costing 6. But if you hit some of these bigger minions, you're probably going to be pretty happy to be able to play these for a cost of 0. And then keeping in mind here as well, some of the neutral demons, maybe you're okay with an Observer of Mysteries. Maybe you need to kill Jaden, I don't know, to try to win a game. Moarg Forge Fiend, obviously going to be pretty good as far as discovers go. So lots of variance here. Not quite sure exactly how good this is going to be. And then also keeping in mind that you have to have no minions in your deck to be able to play this. So you're really going to be at the mercy of really being able to discover cards. Might be a special shout out here. Illidari Studies can discover minions that can have their cost set to 0. And then also Blind Box. Get 2 random demons. Outcast discover them instead, so you might be able to discover some big cost demons that you would want to play and just use the 6 mana location for a discount, assuming that it gives you a bad minion. So things like that we're going to want to keep in mind. And then also Solitude that we're going to be looking at, discover a minion. You know, being able to set those discovered minions to 0, potentially going to be a little bit better than just a random demon that's going to be coming off of the location itself. One other thing that I want to point out here too as well, we don't ever want to play this jump scare. This card is in standard. We don't want to play this in our Spell Demon Hunter deck simply because it's going to shuffle 2 minions into your deck, and then that's going to deactivate all of these no minion style cards. Hounds of Fury, 4 mana, summon 2 3/3 demons. If your deck has no minions, they attack the lowest health enemy. I don't think this card is super great or super strong. It may make the cut into Spell Demon Hunter, but it's probably going to be one of the weakest cards in the deck, and likely going to be something that you would want to take a look at replacing in the deck, certainly as new cards are introduced later on from future mini sets and future expansions. So, you know, 4 mana, 2 3/3s, you can use it to maybe clear the board on turn 4. If there's no enemy minions on the board, or if the lowest health enemy is actually the opponent's hero, it can go face. Overall, it just seems a little bit weak for 4 mana. I think I would value this with the random minions at 6 mana. So 2 3/3s with the effect that they attack the lowest health enemy is probably going to be 6 mana total worth of stuff. It's just the variance of what they hit and do they survive, and 4 mana. I don't think it's going to be the greatest card that's going to be coming out of this set. Lasting Legacy, 3 mana, give your hero 4 attack this turn. Again, if your deck has no minions, give any in hand 4 attack. So the minions that we're going to be discovering or adding to our hand are going to be the ones that would benefit from that extra 4 attack. If we think about something like potentially having Broxigar already in our hand, making him a 16 damage charge, could be a little bit better. But outside of that, we're going to be at the mercy of random demons from the past, as well as anything we discover off the Eternal Hold, or if we so choose to play Blind Box in a deck like that. So I think the 3 attack on your hero could potentially be good. We may be running like a lifesteal weapon that could be beneficial. Being able to swing face, maybe we're looking to finish off our opponent. So really 3, give your hero 4 attack is probably good enough to see play in the Spell Demon Hunter deck, with the added bonus of if we have a minion in hand, we can give it an additional 4 attack. So probably going to be good enough to see play. Solitude, 2 mana, discover a minion. If your deck has no minions, reduce the cost of any in your hand by 2. So I feel like this is going to be pretty good. If we have minions in hand, they're going to be discounted. Again, we would be discovering minions potentially off of the location, Blind Box, the new 1 mana weapon. And the fact that we get to discover a minion is also going to be significantly better than just getting a random minion. So again, I don't know how good the card actually is. It does have the requirement of no minions in the deck, but it's probably going to be good enough for Spell Demon Hunter. Broxigar, a 2 mana 12/12 Fabled, charge, start of game disappear, kill all 4 demons from Argus to reappear in hand. So just the fact that it's a 12 attack charge, this is going to see a lot of play, I think. People are going to experiment with it and try to find out if it's good enough to actually see play in Hearthstone. The thing to keep in mind here, you have to kill all 4 demons. So at the start of the game, this disappears, which means it's not going to be in your deck. That means you can play it in Spell Demon Hunter. Also part of this, it's going to put a weapon in your deck. Lifesteal, after your hero attacks and kills a minion, draw a portal to Argus. So these portals get shuffled in the deck. They're going to summon a 1/1, a 2/1, a 3/1, and a 4/1. And then once we kill all 4 of those minions, we're going to get this placed directly into our hand. And, the 12 damage charge going face, likely going to be a finisher. This is not going to see play in any type of an aggro demon hunter. and it's going to have to go in a deck that's going to be drawing a decent amount of cards. You know, potentially this last portal is going to be on the bottom of your deck, so there's going to be some games where you actually have to draw your entire deck just to be able to get this back into your hand, so it's kind of hard to tell how good it's going to be. If you go into like a cycle Demon Hunter and really just drawing your entire deck early to be able to get this might be the best way to play it. You could also play it in maybe slower moving Demon Hunter decks that are going to draw a lot of cards anyway, just because the games are going to be a little bit longer. But I think it's guaranteed this is going to see some experimentation, and likely people are going to be calling for nerfs because it is a 12 damage charge. It's just a matter of how quickly can you get it in your hand to be able to play it out onto the board because of the huge stat line charge and the 2 mana here. And finishing things up, we have Timeway Warden, a 4-mana 2/6, Battle Cry, imprison enemy minion. It goes dormant 10,000 turns. Death Rattle, awaken it. Hearthstone games are capped, I believe, at 50 turns, so basically this is just make a enemy minion dormant permanently until it dies. I don't think it's good enough to see play. 4 mana is a little bit expensive. The 2/6 body isn't going to be doing a whole lot, and I just don't think it's going to be good enough to be able to see play here. You know, potentially turn 4, you tempo this out, you imprison, you know, a lower minion. Now you're forcing your opponent to try to put 6 damage into the 4 mana 2/2, or I'm sorry, the 4 mana 2/6. I'm kind of just not seeing the vision for this card. I don't think it's going to see play, and I think it's just in general a bad card. Demon Hunter set, actually, I think it's going to be pretty good overall, introducing a new archetype, no minion or spell Demon Hunter, something that we have had in the past in Hearthstone, and it was actually one of my favorite decks. Definitely looking forward to getting my hands on these new cards. And to finish up here, I've got a deck that I put together. This is going to be probably my first version of Spell Demon Hunter. I'm going to include this deck code in the description of the video if you want to try it out when the expansion launches here. Really, this is just Spell Demon Hunter, so a quick look here. You can see, taking a quick look over here at what we did include: Illidari Studies, the new weapon, Broxigar, Grim Harvest, as well as Wyvern Slumber, just good cards. They're going to put minions on the board. I think they definitely go in the deck. Immolation Aura could be a cut. Maybe we play some of the cards that I mentioned not playing, but it seems like being able to clear the board might be important in this deck. Infestation, just a really good strong card here. Eye Beams, again, just minion removal, and I feel like the deck is going to need a little bit of lifesteal. Same thing for Infiltrate, just being able to clear the board. Keeping in mind, too, with the Broxigar, we do have to be able to remove those 1-health minions to be able to get this back in our hand and potentially close the game out. Insect Claw just kind of seems like a good fight for the board kind of card for the deck. Lasting Legacy, of course, making the cut. Aeon Rend, I could see this card being cut. I could also see Hounds of Fury being cut. And then I wanted to try the location here as well just to see how it was going to play. So again, this deck code is going to be in the description if you'd like to try this version of Spell Demon Hunter when the expansion launches.